Cars on the grid for our second Porsche Club Championship race, and as you can see, a slightly different grid for this one, with Ben Demetriou qualifying on pole position, and we'll see how Ben can go from there. Mark Sumpter alongside him, second row Andy Purdy, Pete Morris, Miles Maserati and Marcus Carneal on the third row. Great performance from Carneal. Then it's Kevin Harrison and Trevor Lewis. Paul Follett on row 5. Next to him is Richard Ellis. Now if we look back, Mark McAleer with a bit of work to do from 12th on the grid, so we'll see what he can do from there. Class 2 Championship leader Chris Dyer starts 11th. A full grid of cars once again. Tim Speed and Ian Balam at the back of the field. So let's see how we go. On boards again with Pete Morris, and just the one Paragon car directly in front of him, the other one to the side, of course, Andy Purdy. Red lights on the gantry, away they go, and as you would expect, the rear engine car's getting away that much quicker. Ben Demetriou in second position. Cracking start from Mark Sumpter. Andy Purdy is challenging for second position. Kevin Harrison's in the mix as well. So too is Peter Morris. A little bit of side-by-side stuff going on as they go down to Redgate. You really have to hold on to your hats here as they go through. One of the cars we look at, Marcus Carneal, car number 99. It's first time in this car, as you heard in the interview with Lloyd. Superb performance in race 1 from him, and there he goes into the old hairpin, and there's Mark McAleer through and on the inside of Richard Ellis. So McAleer having a bit of a charge through the field. As we look at 43, driver who had a non-finish in the first race, Trevor Lewis, was battling of course for Class 2 honours, and he's going to find himself involved again in battle with Chris Dyer in this one for the Class 2 honours. So we'll see how those guys work their way through the field. To keep your eyes on Paul Seagrave. Anthony Oliver will be trying to get on the podium as well for Class 2. This is the view from Pete Morris. Cracking win in race 1. It looks like he's got a bit more work to do in race 2. As you say, these front engine cars not as quick off the line, and Morris at the moment down in 5th position behind Kevin Harrison, and Miles Maserati keeping him keen at the moment, but the Paragon pair at the front are now battling for lead position, and here comes down the inside, it's Andy Purdy who's going for the lead. Mark Sumpter cedes the lead. We saw Sumpter attempting outside manoeuvres at Redgate in race 1, and he can't go through. Ben Demetriou is challenging for second and looking down the inside line, but he can't get it. It's a Paragon 1-2 at the moment, with Andy Purdy through into lead position, Mark Sumpter down to second, Ben Demetriou third, then Kevin Harrison, followed by Peter Morris, then Miles Maserati. Marcus Carneal is in the mix as well, and there he is, Marcus Carneal in the Class 2 car. Incredible performance to be dicing with the Class 1. On go the lights, ready for back markers for Andy Purdy. No back markers in sight at the moment, but just in case, he'll want to let them know that he is coming through, and from his point of view, hoping to turn third position from race 2 into a win here. Started third on the grid in this one. Pete Morris then with Kevin Harrison in front of him. Ben Demetriou running in third place, starting to put pressure on Mark Sumpter as they go through the S's. To complete another lap. Morris then, let's see what Morris can do. Absolute tour de force in the first race of the day with that win and fastest lap. Lights on from the leader who's getting away. Sumpter takes a wide sweeping line here. Does that leave the door open for Demetriou in the 35 car? No, it doesn't. So Demetriou, the man from Great Amwell in Hertfordshire, 2009 Class 1 champion, 2007 Class 2 champion. We've got a lot of pedigree in this Porsche Club Championship, with loads of former and current overall and class champions all battling it out. And it effectively becomes a championship of champions. Another of those, Pete Morris, working hard at the moment, still with some work to do. Pete started 4th on the grid, finds himself back in 5th at the moment, but it's a Paragon 1-2. Sumpter won the first round of the season at Brands Hatch from Ben Demetriou and Kevin Harrison, won the second race from Ben Demetriou and took fastest lap in the first one. Demetriou getting the fastest lap in the second round as we go on board with Peter Morris, who took the fastest lap in the first race of the weekend at Croft, and second position at Croft to Mark Sumter, with Miles Maserati taking the podium. Pete Morris taking the podium in the second race at Croft. That was a third behind Mark McAleer, and off goes Kareem Moody. Second time we've seen him off the circuit this weekend. I think once you're in the gravel, that is probably it for Kareem. So you look at this scrap going on, still for fourth position. Kevin Harrison hanging on to it at the moment, coming under pressure from Peter Morris. Looks at the inside line through Hollywood, now down into the curves. Let's see what Morris can do. A little dab of the brake lights from the car in front. Ben Demetriou getting on the case of Mark Sumter. So we've got a little pair squabbling over second, a pair squabbling over fourth place as well. And a bit of a gap back behind fifth position at the moment. But Pete Morris just cannot seem to get on terms. Our rear-facing camera shows us that the move is complete safely as we go back, and Ben Demetriou challenges Sumter for second place. Side by side, Sumter was going to chop across. That was very good awareness from my point of view from Mark Sumter, who saw him. You saw him just come across if he was going to close the door, looked in his mirror. Sumter, a vastly experienced race driver, and now ahead of Kevin Harrison. Into fourth place goes Peter Morris. So Morris is through, then it's Miles Maserati looking at the inside of Kevin Harrison, side by side in the old hairpin, and Mark McAleer in car number 14. He's going to try and come through too, he does. So Harrison really hung out to dry on that lap, loses 3 places, no problems for the race leader. There is Andy Purdy, lights ablaze from Purdy in lead position. Ben Demetriou into second, Mark Sumter down to third, Pete Morris in fourth. Past that stricken car of Kareem Moody. Whether we'll retain yellow flags down there, yes we do, because the recovery truck in the background coming in, you saw the green flags. So Miles Maserati coming under pressure here from Mark McAleer. Very good stuff from McAleer, makes the move early on the brakes, turns in, very neat and tidy, good respectful driving from Maserati too in the 46 machine. So 968 passes 968. Mark McAleer looking a lot happier in the races than he's in qualifying today. There is Marcus Carneil leading Class 2. The 99 car. Great livery, as I said, in race number 1. And this is the view from Marcus. Not as great as we have for some of the other boys, but it gives you an idea of what it's like to be in a Class 2 car, dicing with the Class 1s. There he is, Marcus Carneil. Comes from Mobley in Cheshire, multi-race winner, former champion as well, and running in 6th position at the moment. Very good racing indeed from him. Got himself, I think, ahead of Kevin Harrison. Let's just have a quick look and see how that one pans out. So yeah, good stuff from him. There is Kevin Harrison in the 64 car. So Kevin Harrison gone backwards just a wee bit. Chris Dyer down behind him in position on circuit, so we'll look and see how that all pans out, but still Class 2 lead looks like it's going to go, the win rather looks like at the moment it's going to go to Marcus Carneil. We're back with the race leaders, and you can see that Pete Morris has now caught up with Mark Sumter. Sumter hasn't been lost by Ben Demetriou. This is the view from Morris, who's running in 4th position at the moment. So Morris in 4th, Mark Sumter in 3rd.